Let's talk about a little bit laws of Shabbat. Something interesting, that the person has keys on Shabbat. So what happens is, right, that sometimes a person, if you're in a place where there's an Eruv, here in Rigo Park there's Eruv. Forest Hills, Rigo Park, we have. So you're allowed to carry your keys outside on Shabbat, But in a place where there is no Eruv, you're not allowed to, this is the problem. You guys, maybe you're not aware of this, right? But across the street over there in the LIE, in Corona, there is no Eruv over there. In Corona, So if you're going to Corona, you cannot carry there, nothing. So once you cross over to the other side of the highway, that's it, you have no Eruv there. So a person has to be careful about that. You have to know that, right? You can only carry keys in place where there's Eruv. And also other things as well, right? Whether it's a Sidur or a Talit or whatever. It's all the same, right? So the people who will live over there are many people who live there, Jewish people. And they have also synagogues there, but they don't have Eruv. So, this is a problem, I think that, the leaders of the community, here, the people who have the connections and the money and all, right, they should really try to make an Eruv over there in Corona. Because otherwise, all the people over there, they're living from our community, they're doing a sin, they're carrying on Shabbat. That's a problem. Okay, but anyway, I want to talk about something else. When you have the keys on Shabbat, the problem is, you have also there your car keys, maybe, you have other things there in the bundle, or your business keys, your store or whatever, your factory, whatever it is you have, right? All kinds of things like this. So those, keys which are for your car and for your business and things like this, they're muktzah, because you're not allowed to use those on Shabbat. Right? So what is the idea of muktzah? Something which you don't use on Shabbat, you have no use for that on Shabbat, you're not allowed to carry it around. Even in the house you can't carry it around. I'm not talking about outside, all the more so. Right? So those keys which are muktzah, the question is like this. I remember one time, I was in a certain shul, and there was this guy, came in, Israeli guy, So he has like a bundle of keys, and it's like it's on his belt. Everybody can see it, It's not in his pocket. It's on his belt, So he has their, alarm, car keys, all kinds of stuff there, together in one bundle, So the rabbi told him, and he said, listen, you have to take those out on Shabbat. You can't carry these things on Shabbat, This is muktzah. That's what he told him, So the truth is, right, is that really true? Or do we have to understand that? Or is it allowed to carry those keys? Or do you have to remove them and carry only your house keys? Like this, right? This is the question, So the truth is, that there is a Magen Avraham. In the laws of Shabbat, he says over there, if you have like a case, in those days they used to have things like this. Also today they have. But in those days it was much more. They had like a case, a sheath like this, a box, and there's like knives in there, all kinds of knives. Right? So they have like a package of knives, like a set of knives, all kinds of different types of knives. So it says in Magen Avraham, if you have something like this on Shabbat, you have like a package, a set of knives. So there are some knives in there which are not for Shabbat, you don't use them on Shabbat. They have no use for Shabbat. So things like this, right? The question is, are you allowed to carry that set, or because of the things which are muktzah in there, which are not for Shabbat, you're not allowed to carry. This was the question, right, that they were talking about. So it says in Magen Avraham, you are allowed to carry that set, even though there are some knives in there which are not for Shabbat at all, right? You're not allowed to use them on Shabbat. So the question is why, right? But that's muktzah, right? As we said, So how can you carry that? So the answer is, says Magen Avraham, when you have a mixture, the halacha says like this in Talmud. When you have a mixture of things which are muktzah and things which are not muktzah together in one package, in one set, in one right box, whatever. So the halacha says you're allowed to carry that because you have things in there which you're allowed to, to use. So even though there are also things which in there which you're not allowed to use, but since you're taking it together, as one set, one package like this, you're allowed to take that. It says Magen Avraham like this, So therefore, the same thing also applies with the keys as well. That if you have like keys like this, where you have also your car stuff, your business stuff there in the keys, one big bundle, whatever, right? So even though some of those things are muktzah, but since they're all together in one bundle, one package, right, whatever, so therefore you are allowed to carry those keys on Shabbat, But the thing is, don't show it to everybody. Put it on your belt. Everybody's gonna see your car keys over there. This is not, it doesn't look good. It doesn't. That's why the rabbi complained about him. This guy, right? Because he's showing it to everybody. It doesn't look nice like that. But put it in your pocket. Nobody should be looking at this. Because otherwise they're gonna be suspicious. They're gonna say, oh, what is this car keys? What, he's driving his car on Shabbat? What is he doing? They're gonna think, right? Things like this. Right, now in the modern days, right, they have like a new keys now, the key fobs, whatever, right? Everything is electronic there. There's no real key there, everything is electronic. But still, if you have it together with your bundle of keys, that key fob, right? Same thing applies to that as well, even though it's electronic, right? It's there's batteries in there, whatever, God knows, whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter if it's all one set, and you want to carry that on Shabbat. But don't show it to people. Put it inside your pocket. Nobody sees it, and there's no problem. Because it's together, this and that together.
But you're not supposed to carry it in a packet. You're supposed to hang on a belt on Shabbos.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you got me into an interesting discussion there. So let's talk about that. What you're saying. I want to explain to you a little bit more. Right. So he's talking about this. Right. It's a little bit different what you're saying. A little bit different. They used to have, in some places, they still have it today, by the way, some places. I'll explain to you something interesting. What they have is, they have a key belt, it's called, key belt. You ever hear about this? What's a key belt? That means that the belt is made in a way where the key, is a part of the belt. You understand? It's a part of it. No. In other words, it's linking the belt together with the ring of the key. It's like a part of it, So why do they do it that way? So what? But that's not a belt, right?
No, you hang it on the belt.
On your belt, right? Got you. Right. So what you're saying is very interesting. I'm going to explain to you, right, exactly what it is. If you can, maybe take it outside. So anyway, right, as we said, the way it works like this, right? There's something called key belt, right? So that's what you're talking about. What you're showing me there is not the same thing. I'll explain to you what the difference is. And we'll understand a little bit better, right? The key belt, what's the purpose of that? The purpose is that since you're not allowed to carry on Shabbat, so you make the key a part of your belt, So it's like, you're wearing it, It's not like you're carrying it.
So all the hooks for the keys on your belt?
Right, so what I mean is it's a part of the belt, it's a link, like it's a link together with the belt. I'll explain to you. Give me a chance to explain. Yeah, I got you, I understand you. I understand what you're saying. So, that's what you're talking about, that they made for Shabbat like this, But what you're doing to put the key on the belt like that, with that thing, you understand? This is not any better than putting in your pocket. It's the same thing. It's not. There's no difference.
Look the pants.
Right. Why is that? I'll explain to you why. Because when you put it like this, on your belt, it's not a part of the belt. It's just something which is additional to the belt, So you're not wearing it, So that's not going to help you. Just put it in your pocket, it's the same thing. Okay, he's got something there. Show me, please. Show me this. Show me. Don't do me a favor. I want to see what this is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Right.
Like that.
I see. Right. No, yeah, I understand you. But that's not going to help you with this halakha. It doesn't help. I'll tell you why. Because what they have, is that the hook of the key, right, the ring, is a part of the belt.
We used to have a belt with a ring on it.
That's it. That's what we're talking. We're talking about that one, right? But this one, to do it this way, is no different than putting in your pocket. It's the same thing. Why? Because it's not a part of the belt. It's not a part of the belt. It's a separate thing. So it's not holding your belt together. So you're not wearing it. You're carrying it. You understand? So it's not doesn't change anything. This kind of thing. So what I'm trying to say is like this, right? That you can put it also in your pocket. This is no better than pocket.
If we have a Eruv, are we
Yeah.
allowed to carry keys in a pocket?
Right, that's exactly what we're talking about, right? So what we're saying is like this, just to repeat, right, to explain to you. If you have Eruv, you can put the keys in your pocket also. Same thing, right? Doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. Yeah, no problem, yeah. So that's the thing, If you have now here's the thing, right? There are some places, I want to explain to you since you asked about this, there are some places where there is no Eruv. Like we said, right, in Corona. But there are also some cities, where there's no Eruv there. I think I heard, from one of my friends, he told us, some rabbi, that in Hong Kong, they have no Eruv there. Hong Kong, they don't have Eruv. And there's a Jewish community there, Sephardi community that lives there. They do business, business place, right? So in Hong Kong they have no Eruv. So what they do is they make the key belt, because that's the only way you can carry over there. It's because there's no Eruv. That's what you're talking about. A key belt, which is key is a part of the belt. So the truth is, that this heter, the key belt, Maran Shulchan Aruch doesn't allow this. Only the Ramah allows. The Ashkenazim, the Rabbi of Ashkenazim. But since they have no choice over there, they're not Ashkenazim, they're Sfaradim. But they have no choice. There's no other way to do it. So they do like the Ramah, they make a key belt like this, and they use it in a place where there's no Eruv. But in a place where you have Eruv, you can hold it in your hands, you can put it in your pocket, it's all the same, it doesn't make any difference. It's all the same. Right? But the idea is like this, that even though you have their keys which are muktzah, but since the whole bundle is together in one bundle, so you're allowed to carry it like this, right? There's no problem with that. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן ואמן. רבי חנניה בן השומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לצורך ישראל, לפיך הכי בא להם תורה מצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.